Another excellent guest for you guys. Mark Pinsley's in the studio, everybody.
Mark,
how you doing?
Very good. Thank you for having me.
All right, Mark, you're running for Pennsylvania State Senate seat 16, correct?
In Pennsylvania, that's correct.
Yeah. So a couple of fun things that I noticed about both you and your opponent. Your opponent is Pat Browne, that's Republican.
Yep.
And he's taking money from JPMorgan and GlaxoSmithKline. It's a state senator. What do we?
Well, first off, he has his hand out for all corporate cash. Right, so he takes from the oil and gas industry, he takes from the bank industry, he takes from the pharmaceutical industry. He's it's corruption in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's amazing that they bother to give campaign contributions to state senators. It seeps into everything that we're doing, unfortunately.
He's the appropriations chair. So that money goes to him, and then it gets dispersed out to a whole bunch of other Republicans.
So another fascinating thing from your travels running for this office, you ran into a guy who stopped paying his mortgage and the bank wouldn't foreclose.
That's right.
Why? What in God's green earth?
Yeah, so we were out in Montrose, Pennsylvania. So this is one of the fracking areas in Pennsylvania. And I think I sent you the graphic of Pennsylvania. You can see it looks like an acneic boy. There's dots all over it showing where the fracking is going on. And I went to his house, he invited me in, he turned on the spigot, and this, slime basically came out, and it smelled, worse than rotten eggs, right? So his home, it's not a usable home. Like, he literally has to go off-site, have water brought in. He brings in the water every 10 days so that he can have good water. So he stopped paying his bills, and the bank says, I don't want it.
They just don't want his house.
They don't want his house.
They're like,
they can't do anything with it.
So it's free.
That's it. It's free.
If something is free, though, including a house, you might not want it.
That's right, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
If your bank is not willing to take it, you don't want it.
Right.
Yes.
They're not doing that for their health, literally.
That's right.
Right?
Exactly right.
And so, wow. In terms of states and fracking, where does Pennsylvania rank?
We're number 2. So Texas is number 1, which means to me, we have an obligation for our environment, right? So the problem, we emit, I think we're number 3 in emissions of CO2 and other things. So we really need to move to a clean energy. And that's my goal. I want to, put a moratorium on fracking. We should be taxing the gas that's coming out of it, and we need to stop the East Penn pipeline that's trying to go through my district in this case.
So let's talk about the taxing, because I remember Republican governor of Pennsylvania said that he had to give tax incentives to frack in Pennsylvania, otherwise they'd go to different states. Isn't the gas under Pennsylvania?
Right, exactly. The shale's there. You don't have to give any incentives. They're going to stay, and they're going to drill.
So I just found that to be so over the top preposterous, and that people would just accept it, like, oh, of course.
Yes.
I guess they'll get the Pennsylvania gas in Kentucky or in Oregon.
Right, it makes no sense.
Yeah, so and that is, in a sense, if they're gonna do the fracking, that is the people's gas, if you will.
That's exactly right.
Right,
yeah.
So what would be your proposal in that regard?
I mean, really the proposal is, first, I think we should tax what they're bringing out. Because so we went through Montrose, and when you looked at Montrose, right, all of the infrastructure is falling apart, right? The trucks are going across the street, and the pebbles are dancing because the road is just terrible. So, and there's no money coming in from that, right? And so all these people are in a terrible position. Like, they don't get their water delivered; they have to go out and get their water. So anyway, so the first thing is we need to tax. The second thing is we need to stop the governor for giving new permits. There's just no reason. There's enough gas right now. We don't need any more. And then the third is we need to shift to clean energy. And we need to educate those that are in the fossil fuel industry as to how they can make even more money in the green industry.
Yeah, there's a reason why it's called green.
That's right.
Kind of. All right. Anyway, how about the corruption that we were talking about earlier with these state senators getting bundles of money from banks and pharmaceutical companies, et cetera? How would you put an end to that?
Well, let me tell you. So I'm working on a bill with an activist group that's called the American Anti-Corruption Act. And it is really focused on getting money out of politics and also focused on making elections fair. And I'm also with you and your group, in terms of creating a constitutional amendment to stop Citizens United or overturn Citizens United. Those are the types of things that we need to do.
Well, a vote for Wolfpack in a state senate is a vote I'm in favor of.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Right, yeah. And so if you guys don't know, and I know that a lot of you do, but Wolfpack tries to get the constitutional amendment to get money out of politics at the state level. And you can do that. If enough states, and 34 states, call for a convention, you can propose that amendment at that convention. So state senators, in a sense, are almost more important than United States senators, because Congress is very unlikely to propose an amendment.
That's
but
right.
5 states have already called for one, and Pennsylvania could be among them if guys like Mark win.
Yes, and we're going to work hard towards that, yeah.
Excellent. You apparently hold postcarding parties. That sounds fun. What does that mean?
So that means, we get a bunch of people together, and they fill out a postcard and they send it to their neighbors, and they let them know, hey, I support Mark Pinsley, vote for him in the Senate race.
So a party where we're writing postcards.
Yes.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay, fun. I like it. It's a different idea. I like it.
Yeah, and it's a good way to connect with people, and everybody has a little bit of fun.
And how about 5K signups for Mark's campaign? What is that?
So really what that is, we wanted as many people as we can to sign up and support the Anti-Corruption Act. And so what we've asked people to do, and are asking people to do, is sign up on my website to let us know that you're supporting the American Anti-Corruption Act.
Okay, real quick, Mark, because we're almost out of time. Tell me what an all-payer is as what you call a backdoor to universal health care.
Yeah, so basically what it is, and it is a backdoor, it's basically taking the Medicare for All idea and allowing insurance providers to participate. So for example, whatever Medicare pays to hospitals today, the insurance companies would be able to pay to hospitals today. So it simplifies the administration component of healthcare. So it's a first step. It doesn't get to universal health care, at least not at this point, but it's a step to start to reduce the administration costs.
All right,
but I'm for all payer. I just want to let you know, for a single payer. That's the direction that we need to head in, and that's what's going to be successful. For Pennsylvania, there's a bill in play right now that would save the state $3 billion for a single payer system.
All right, elect progressives at all levels, and I'm telling you right now, state senate might be as important as any level. So, Mark Pinsley, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, and everybody, check out the links. Okay, you got the links down below if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. It's an easy click, and obviously, votemarkpinsley.com is the website. Okay, so go participate now, especially if you're in Pennsylvania. Save your local communities and maybe even your house.
Exactly.